Okay, my name is Grace Patino, and I taught at Watsonville High School. I taught for 34 years in the math department, and I received my Carlston Family Foundation award in 2002, which was the very first year that it was given. We talk about students who have issues at home or fall asleep in your class. So I had this one young man who kept falling asleep in my class, and he hadn't done poorly in class. He was doing fine, but every day he'd fall asleep. And I did find out, I can't remember if I asked him what was going on, or he just said he was just having issues. And so he would stay awake until I got the notes, the discussion or whatever we had, and then he'd just fall asleep. And so at the end of the year, I always had this little book that I put out for the kids. I didn't buy a yearbook. The yearbooks are kind of expensive, but I had this book that had blank pages for the kids to write in, and I just had it up there in case anybody wants to say anything and write to me. And I always enjoyed reading those. Those were what I would read after I finished grading all my finals. So he said, "You must be a fantastic teacher because you taught me even though I slept through most of your classes." And he got an A in the class. It's not that he didn't, but it was like I gave him the time or the space to just, get his act together, or to get rested for the rest of the day, because I had him in the morning and he was just exhausted. So he was very, very grateful for what I had done. So it made me feel very good. I was writing about this one time. I had this activity in the classroom where the students had to measure the diameter of different objects that I had in the room, the diameter and the circumference. And then they had a chart that they had to put all of these measurements in. And then you had bottle caps, we had bigger pizza, cardboards, all kinds of stuff. And so they were to figure out they were supposed to discover how the relationship worked. And so you could add those two together, you could subtract them, and you could divide them. And so I said, well, where do you see a pattern? And so it was a division, because there's the ratio, there's the radius. And then one boy said, he goes, "Will this work for anything that's round?" And I said, "Yes, we can go and measure a big tractor wheel and we can get the same thing." And so we measured something else. He looked at me and he said, "Wowzers." And and I will never forget that, because of the importance of having hands-on and doing and actually discovering something yourself. And he'd never forget that. So that was my other one.